Good morning. This is Van with Level8 here to do the pre-market. Uh, it is July 16th, 2026. If you guys hear like a chainsaw in the background, we've got a big oak tree down across the cul-de-sac, and they're loading that thing up. So let's get going here. See what we could see. Uh, this is our key ranges chart. We one of the four monitors that we watch at four screens. You can cycle through them. You don't have to have four monitors to run this workspace. Alt tab lets you move through them very quickly. Uh, Structural read this morning is its accepted value underneath this the prior value area here from yesterday's volume profile. It's trying to sink back in, but structure right now is likely bearish. I mean, obviously we've got 221, the 8 below that. Now we get into a transition area here with price above this 21 and this 8 moving up. So we'll see. A lot of times we see this type of movement before the market opens. They run one way or the other. We have similar conditions to yesterday in terms of that. So, and I'm talking about in terms of gamma, for instance. Let's go look at some of that. There's our news. There's our news today. We had jobless claims and retail sales. Didn't look at this yet. 208 below consensus. That's a positive. Positive for the economy. Less likely they're not expecting a rate cut, but maybe less likely of a rate increase, so it turns into positive. Okay, so let's get back to that. These gamma models. This is bar charts model. We've got this is SPX. SPX is pretty robust. There's a lot of options on SPX. So there's a gamma flip point, the point at which we expect dealers to begin to be either more neutral or begin to check price as it moves down. So this is very similar to yesterday. Now we're down 30 points in the pre-market, or we were. We may have obviously come back some now. Yeah, it's down to 20 points. So, we're going to move down here we're going to move down here at 75, 70. We're going to be down to 50, which is still a good ways from that. So very positive gamma on ES. If we look at the numbers on QQQ, because NDX doesn't have enough volume to really make any judgments with. But we're really closer to this, and this is similar to what we had yesterday, and I should have made a better note of it. The QQQ is also down. It's down here to this says that the price is at 15. It's actually down here at 11. So we're moving into this territory, this negative gamma territory, and this is where they start chasing price. And this is what I should have seen yesterday, because when we got a decent move to the downside, that pushed these options into negative gamma. And the reason we watch these other assets is that the options dealers hedging is the biggest volume component within these futures that we're trading, these indexes. So NQ or MNQ or ES, it's options dealers offsetting what's happening with their options in these other instruments, QQQ in this case. If we want to, we have a model in development. We're having to use these others now, but we'll have a little bit better look at this in the near future. But what happens is when they get into a negative gamma territory, their hedging can switch to chasing price as opposed to fading it. So when they're fading price, which is their normal state, they're buying low, selling high, and it tends to compress price, compress volatility, and that's where they make their money. When they get into the position where they're chasing price, we can get big short moves. And yesterday, It pretty clearly tipped negative because it ran down, started hitting stops, and it was a bad situation. Today on with a bad situation, it was a very bearish situation. The difference was yesterday. We really didn't have supportive rates for that. These treasuries were positive yesterday. They were a headwind, but it wasn't enough to slow those things down yesterday. And I think we probably had more. I think we had probably had more call volume there. So that means we were cascading down through some stops. Uh, if we go look at these options chain, NDX is practically worthless. So we can't use that as it is. Keep getting these alerts. Uh, QQQ though we can use. There's enough on it. I don't have today's option statistics on it yet because it's not open. But let's go look at SPX, and we can see uh, in the option statistics when it comes up here. They're down to the bottom. Put call ratio is 1.2. That's 1.2 puts to every call. So they've priced in the sentiment today is bearish. There's no question about it. So again we've got a bearish sentiment. We've got bearish rates. Today it does look bearish. It lines up. Yesterday the structure was positive. Today it's negative. We have a sentiment and we have support from these treasuries. So we're going to get that bearish read. There's no way around that one today. And here's just the basic pre-market stuff. So 1 minute. This is what we use. What we use to execute with. We don't have Mag 7 prices. We don't have the sectors yet in the pre-market here. Let's go take a look at these longer term charts. Here is it's me looking at it. I'm trading NQ, but I'm watching ES all the time. Down here in our daily, here we are back up here to the uh, right back up here to this 21 and this 8. So we find support, but we've been up obviously up to above this 30,000 mark where we've had that kind of resistance level at the top, and we're a ways from it today. We're at 29.5 basically. Towards the bottom, we are right here at where we've had support here recently. So now we're at the bottom. We'll see if we can, we'll see if it breaks through. It's pulling off of it a little bit. That's down there at that 29.4-ish level or 29.350. I'm going to go look at the 4-hour chart here. Let me maximize that. Draw it down a little bit, and I'm going to turn on our key levels, which are today. So we get L1, H1, L1, and the pre-market here. And you can see H1, there it was yesterday, going up to that support around that the 30,000 level, a little bit over 30,001. Coming right back down here to where we found support going back to last week, same place. So we're in this range, we're in these levels. I mean, we have another swing down here at 29.3. That's 180 points away, and then ultimately the most recent swing was down here at 29,000. It's going to be pretty brutal if we get down there. But that kind of confirms what we're looking at. That 30 at the top, the 29.4-ish at the bottom, 29.350, 375, something like that. It could go a little bit lower if it went down to these previous levels. 265 we could get to 29.144 and not change the average ATR. So without any type of expansion, 29 29 144 would be possible to the downside. And we have bearish structures. Again, they start to get into transition here with now the 8's moving over this 21. It's moved there on the 2-minute already. Approaches these 200s, which we were always try to be aware of. 29.3 was a low 2 days ago, so that validates that level. And we've got higher levels moving up. So this is our 10-minute chart. So we'll be working with fibs. The day goes on here. If we got this is a 15-minute chart. We're approaching, and I'm running Q on it. I wanted to see that. Get back to MNQ. We wanted to take a look at this one. We had approached the 50% level at 29.5. That's a nice fat round number, and 618 is at 533 up there. So there's the 29.5 and there's 533. So we'll be watching those early as well. See how those play out. But the open is, the open is what it is. There's rebalancing going on, and there are OTC trades that we have no idea about that they're hedging on in that first half hour to rebalance their books, the options dealers, that is. So that's what's happening there. I'll remove that drawing for now. And that's where we stand, guys. That's a pretty good rundown of what we're looking at. Bearish structure for now. We have no particular strong opinion on the way this may break at the open. Because of the expected move, we haven't hit either one of those really. We've taken up a good deal of NQ's expected move to the downside, but there's still plenty of space on it. It's not a we haven't exceeded it to the point where we may expect a rebalance in that direction. We are trying to move up into the prior value area though. So we'll just take a look at it, guys. We're starting out with likely bearish. We'll have another read at 10:30 after we get some data in, and that's our pre-market for right now. We've had a swing in the way these treasuries are going. The volume delta has turned positive. We'll be back this afternoon for post market. If you like this content, like and subscribe. Go to level8.com, get in our free Discord room, get on our free Discord server. There's some videos there. Certainly, if you're starting out in trading or curious about how futures work, there's some really good videos there that are open to the public that you can learn a little bit about futures starting out and come into the room and see how we trade these things. And I will see you this afternoon.